people are right now subconsciously, you don't even realize that you're doing it. Right now, if you took a step back, you can't imagine how much you're thinking about your holiday vacation predicated on the photos you post versus the vacation itself. We live in a world where people yearn for affirmation or compliments, which makes them wildly vulnerable to booing. The reason so many of you struggle and you don't post with a negative hater or this is because you overvalue compliments, which make you vulnerable to negativity. This is something we really need to start talking about. Like, why are you here? Like, why are we here today? Like, I love you too. On some real shit, like, what are we doing here? I assume if you decided to spend money on a, let's say Monday, on a Monday afternoon and listen to this shit, that you're looking for something, which is cool. My curiosity is what? Because for me, if you're looking for tactics, they're so easy. I've been telling you, how many people here follow me? What, you think you're gonna get something crazy up here today? You know exactly what I'm gonna fucking say. I feel like Aerosmith up here. I'm not playing new music, I'm gonna play the fucking classics. But the reason I keep doing this and why it's interesting to me is I've learned in the last decade especially, but kind of always knew, right place, right time, right analogy, right moment, right? Like, to me, it's been fascinating to watch people consume my content. You know, what's great about how I do it and how I recommend you do it is read your comments, read your DMs, read your, I know a lot of you are mad I haven't texted you back. I get fucking 4,000 of them a day. I'm texting 300 back. I just can't fucking catch up, but I'm telling you, I read that shit. And the reason I read it is it allows me to know what I need to talk about here. You think I knew that people were fucking super sad because their parents were paying for shit? I didn't know that. My parents didn't pay for my shit, so I could have never known that. It was the thousands of emails in the last 5 years that I've read from kids in their 20s who finally reconciled the fact of like, oh fuck, my unhappiness comes from the fact that my parents are secretly paying for my life, which consciously and subconsciously makes me feel like a fucking loser. Let me tell you something right now. You want to get happy real fast? I don't know how many people this is going to work for in this room, but if you're in this camp, if you are over the age of 22 and your parents pay for anything on some real shit, you need to leave this conference, call your parents and say, I'm never taking another fucking dollar from you. There is nothing more obvious to me out of all the listening I've done in the last half decade, that the thing I just said is leading to a stunning amount of bad. A bad between the kid and the parents, a bad about that kid. All they're doing is taking that money to look like they're doing something which starts corroding you subconsciously in a way that you cannot imagine. I'm telling you, living on your own 2 feet is foundational to happiness. The resentment that you're creating towards your parents and the resentment that your parents are going towards you is remarkable. It's really funny. 40-year-old crowd and higher, go up. You guys remember when we were growing up, if your parents were going to help you, you borrowed money. You paid it back. We're not living there anymore. And that's amazing. And I know, listen, as somebody who grew up with not a little and has it a lot now, I look at my kids, I want to, but I want them to be happy, not look like they're successful. My friends, we are living in a unbelievably special time, one that the robots in 4,000 years are going to talk about as an important era. And what's important about this era is the clouds and the dirt. This is the greatest era of opportunity. It's also one of the most vulnerable eras ever because of that opportunity. This is a game of going inside. You need to map. Here's a tactic. You want to write some shit down? Here's one. Write down in order whose opinion matters to you. There we go. But on some real shit, the people's opinions that matter the most to you are the things that you're most vulnerable to. And you need to hack that. That is a real important hack. because I'm watching people completely live their lives based on other people's opinions. From things that kind of make sense, like your parents, to things that make no fucking sense, like a random comment on your fucking post. And so for me, I come here today with like the hope that 3, 6, 11 people hear me this time. Because the reality is when? Like, I've given you the tactics. I'll give them to you one more time since we're here. The only thing that matters in the end is the ability to communicate what you're trying to achieve. No matter what your service is, B2B this, commercial that, t-shirt this, tea that, sneaker, ice cream, house, bird, going for mayor, whatever the fuck you're trying to sell yourself, the only thing that ultimately matters in an internet world is the ability to communicate to others that thing. That becomes the variable of how many people you close. If you are a tremendous communicator, then more people will buy your thing. It's not complicated. The way to be a great communicator in 2020 is to win on the 10 platforms that dominate the phone. That is life. Nobody here is going to fucking Hollywood and starting their own TV show on prime time or on fucking Netflix. Let's stop fucking bullshitting. Everybody here can put out 23 posts tomorrow on these platforms, but you're not. The reason listen, 3-4 years ago, I tried to stay very far away from mindset and motivation. I hate that shit. It's just that I can't understand when I'm telling you exactly what. I've now put out 3 decks in full fucking detail of what you should do. Everybody in this fucking room should put out 50 to 100 pieces of content a day. Do it. Why one isn't? Immediately, Gary, I don't have a D-Rock or a team. Motherfucker, I've been doing this shit since fucking 2006. I didn't have a team either for the first 8 years. How do you think I got to having a team? Patience in doing it. So please, listen to me. Everything you wish, everything you dream, everything you hope to accomplish out of today, tactically, is completely predicated on your ability to make pictures, video, and written words across Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, That's it. That's the answer. But the reason there's a smattering of claps is because you haven't been doing it, even though I've been pounding it down your fucking throat for the last 3 years. Which leads me to why. And that is how I found myself into territories I never thought that I would be making content about. Your spouse, your father, your best friend, that bad thing that happened to you when you were 8. All the shit that is inside of all of us that has created insecurity to actually put out content. That's it. That's it. And so that's what's happening. And layered on top of that is the imagery of what success looks like. That's something I'm super passionate about. I'm passionate in the utter confusion that things lead to happiness. That a car, do you know how many people DM me literally shit like, Garyvee, if I could just have a fucking Mercedes, my life would be awesome. Do you know how many people right now are plotting and saving to buy a piece of clothing? Why? I'll tell you why. They want to wear that piece of clothing, rock that handbag, have those sneakers to show everybody else that they're successful. We are in a great era of makeup. Everybody's fronting, trying to impress everybody. Why? Because you're insecure. You actually care about other people's opinion because you were told you weren't good enough because you got a chip on your shoulder. I know about a chip. Every single teacher, except for Senora Kennedy, big shout out to my Spanish teacher in high school, that if she didn't pass me on charisma, I'd still be in fucking North Hunterdon High School. And 98% of my friends' parents thought that I would be a straight loser in life because the only ROI from 1990 to 1994 was your grades and what college you were going to. Now, it's flipped. That still exists, but we also have an entire era of, did you put entrepreneur in your Instagram profile? There's a lot more to being an entrepreneur than putting it in your profile. I mean, like, literally 99% of people that put entrepreneur in their Instagram profile would be no different than if I put rapper and athlete in my profile. We need a reset, Orlando. We need a big, big fucking reset. The reason I feel different than a lot of people that kind of look like me is because the shit coming out of my mouth is different than what's coming out of theirs. It's not super complicated. My shit is universal. It's always been this way. Building a true foundation is how you build success. It scares me. It scares me how many people think there's a hack. Let me just save everybody a lot of time. If you think there's a hack, a secret, a system, or a quick path, humans are smart. Everybody would then do it. Let me say it one more time for the fuckers in the back. I see you. There's no fucking shortcut, dick. None. Zero.